Ed and Eddy title cards, you know you love them. Now, before I get into talking about them, I want to bring up who made them. Now, if you look it up, then dumb Google, the first result that you'll get is Paul Boyd. This is not true. Paul did the intro sequence, he directed it. The actual artist behind the episode title cards is Kathy Boak W. And yeah, looking her up, you can definitely see other art she's made having a resemblance to this, even though it's quite maybe it's because you don't really see human faces on these, which is kind of uncanny, but really funny. But yeah, you can definitely see the resemblance, and you might even seen books here and there back in elementary school that she illustrated the cover for, or even did other things in there for, and she also did title cards for previous things that Danny Antonui made. Now, anyway, with that off the way, let's actually talk about the title cards, and these are outstanding. There's just nothing else quite like them, and yeah, they're so unique, and they're always kind of weird to me, because, like, I mean, for one, just look at them, and two, like, they have, like, nothing to do with anything that's actually in Ed and Eddy. Like, these people on the covers, like, they don't seem like the Ed and Eddy characters, which adds to the weirdness, and isn't it just a wonderful charm? And yeah, there's just no other show that's had title cards quite like these. These are real works of art. Now, you may have seen people, like, praise them and give an ode to them before, but never really heard anybody do a big grand old video on them, so that's what I would like to start doing here. And in this, I will be going over 5 different title cards that I really like. And I'm going to start with the first one, which I've talked about before, briefly on my favorite episodes video, which is the title card of A Glass of Warm Ed. Now, while it's a great episode, it's not one of my favorites, at least it wasn't initially at that time. The reason why I brought this up is because this is my favorite title card. We're starting with my favorite. I love this. There's just something about this, such, like, a great, comfy work of art, like, the milk and the cookie, and like, when talking about this with my friend Jimmy Racriola, he said that it's, like, 90s Saturday morning cartoon comfiness, and yeah, that encapsulates it really well. I just love this, and I want some of that milk and cookie, even if I am a bit lactose intolerant, and the moon resembling having cheese in the background, and the milk, I love the milk and the weird-ass, almost nightmare feelness of Ed's eyes being in there, which I think is, like, the only time you really see, like, a character totally in there, and that's so cool. Such a unique and weird way of illustrating that this episode's about Ed, despite how nightmarish it is, and I recently made an emote just off that glass of milk, and interestingly, the eyes are brown, so does that mean that if we were to see Ed as, like, a real person, a cartoon character with, like, dot black eye pupils, would his eyes be brown then? It's interesting, makes you think, like, how his hair is actually supposed to be orange too, despite being represented as black stubble all the time, and I love this. I will legit get this framed on my wall, like, for real. 10 out of 10 art. This next one is one that my friend Alex the Menace is a real fan of, and why I'm talking about it here since they brought it up. And that's for Urban Ed, and yeah, wow, look at the contrast on this between the green fields and the urban skylines, how shadowy. This is almost, like, intimidating in a way. I love it. It's, like, daunting and coming in front of you if you're in the position of the Cowie, and it's like, whoa, and yeah, what a freaking crazy title card. Like, I just love the dynamicness of this, and, you know, I like cows a lot too, and that adds to it, but yeah, just, damn, that city skyline, though, is so mesmerizing and powerful looking. It's just, no wonder this one stuck out to many others. This one generally seems to be a favorite amongst people who brought out title cards before. Next up is Honor Thigh Ed. Now, this one I maybe don't have much to say about, but I just think it's really funny and really creative. Like, I mean, for one, the dress looks like a ghost, but others is with that top hat and flowers and gloves and bow tie, how it looks like it's making a person just off those, and really clever use of the roses being eyes, and altogether reminds me of Pinch Face from Nickelodeon, and I love the gloves just going crazy, like, curses, and like, this altogether reminds me of either, like, an I Spy book or just some really weird birthday card decoration I would have gotten back in the day. It's one of the more funny title cards, to be sure. I mean, those hands. Alright, here's one that stands out from the rest. Over Your Edge. Jeez Louise. I mean, you can still tell it's Ed and Eddy, but, like, wow, that is unlike any other type of card we've seen before. Like, it's not as silly, goofy, weird, like, fever dreamish as we've seen the rest be. Like, no, this is, like, straight off, like, a child's fantasy. Like, this is a well-illustrated thing that you would see in a children's book that had so much heart put into it. And yeah, just love the motion of this, like the curve of the whole planet and the star curving alongside it, and we got the moon recently heavy and cheese again, and I love the ominous bright houses too. Like, not only are the houses adding like a bit of like comfortableness to it, but these houses are weird. Like, these houses look like something you would see in an Alien Invasion, which is like a stark contrast to the rest of this, and kind of like adds to the slight eeriness to it, but like it just somehow works still altogether. It's really funny too, like it's incredibly dreamlike. Okay, the last one I want to talk about here is another one that's a bit shorter, and you know, it's not quite as dynamic and crazy wild as the others, but another that I just think is really funny, like Other Thyad, and it's Rent's Ed, and I just love how fun this one is. It's so, like, purely wacky and creative, like something that would make you giggle and clap seeing it as a kid, with this craziest, most utensil-ridden Swiss Army knife. By the way, I don't know if I've ever seen one of those in real life before. Are they a myth? Like quicksand. But yeah, I just love how goofy it is with the fork coming out and being super curvy. The fork adds a lot to it. Forks are very Ed and Eddy styled, and let me tell you, you throw a fork in that title card and bam, you know you're looking at Ed and Eddy, and the funny hammer, and yeah, like I'd love to, like the saw coming out selling off tea, and that thing in the middle is also there. I don't know what that is exactly. I don't think it's like a camp or anything or something. What is that in between the E and the N? Can any of you tell me the name of it? And then, yeah, we got the last two at the bottom, the tweezers or the weezers, filling up the rest. And yeah, I just like how creative this is. Like, this is an actual item that I would like to hold. And, suspiciously, coincidence, question mark? Look at the background too. Doesn't it look familiar? Yeah, the regular show title card, it looks a lot like that, doesn't it? Where could they have gotten it from? But yeah, those are all the title cards I would have liked to talk about for now. I might do another video like this if this one is liked, because, I don't know, surprisingly was shorter than I thought, but, like, I thought this was going to be a lot longer, but I guess I thought out my thoughts well enough, and yeah, if any of you would like me to talk about more title cards in depth, then do tell me